because I don't necessarily equate, a shouldered insignia with one extra sale. It's hard to say
Yeah.
if you have one extra tampo, you're going to sell 100 more units. You just don't know. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
so, I've purposefully been very minimal with paint deco and things like that to really kind of run the gamut of what can this be just as solid colors and you know
Mm-hmm.
that being said, waves 5 and 6, which will start shipping, end of summer, early fall. Um,
Sweet.
we've gone. I've blown that out of the water, and I've just gone crazy with paint decos. And I now realize whatever fall is that is going to have to be very expensive because it's, you know, you you'll see in, yeah, in the near future. But um,
Oh, I'm fully excited for this. Like, yeah, we're pretty. We've gotten to the point now where it's like, okay, two figures each should be enough, right? But now it's like, okay, well, we got to get another one to customize. Like, if we want to use some of the yellow bodies, well, we can't take apart our other rescue knight. We got to have the rescue knight ready.
yeah,
So let's just get another guy to rip up. Let's just get another guy for
Yeah, we're
bits.
we're definitely men of compulsion.
Yeah.
well, you can imagine, if you take that mentality because you want to display Rescue Knight in his VJ armor, but you want to display the Raw
Yep.
Knight, and that idea of iteration, it becomes so complex for me because I want to display every single combination possible that I just never
Yep.
do. Like I have not sat down and opened up the bags on waves 5 and 6, which are in a lot of people's hands with the all-in
Hmm.
subscription. Um, I still
Yeah.
have not sort of sat down and really like dove into, interchanging the parts and putting them on display and things like that because it's so overwhelming. It's like, it's unmanageable at this point. The sheer number of color combinations.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
that I ever
Well,
could. I don't think I have the stock personally in my archives, but I don't think I have the time to, as I once did, have sort of every combo pieced together and on display.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you've heard it here, folks. The combinations are literally endless. Oh, we lost.
Oh,
We lost
back.
your.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're back now. No, it's all good. We saw the little like the microphone with the cross through it, and we're like,
That's
oh
just when I'm
no,
talking.
not again. No, it's all good. Yeah, so that's rad. I unfortunately couldn't jump in on the all in, but
This
like,
interview's over.
I,
You can have your mic back.
fuck both of you
Oh,
guys.
oh shit! We
no.
didn't buy enough toys to keep his attention.
Is it? We'll buy three. We'll buy three each.
Look,
I
I
promise.
I was a poor kid, and I was lucky. KB Toys was the sort of destination because they always had three for $5 or two for $5.
Oh,
So
nice.
I,
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't begrudge anybody. Look, $150, that's a big ask for anything.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's a week of groceries, or that's a new outfit. Like I can't. I'm. It's joyous for me that anybody signs up for the all-ins.
Oh, totally. Well, that's the thing too. I think for, I guess it'd be like wave 7, 8. That's probably going to be more of a, unless I like completely fuck up and set my workplace on fire. Um, so yeah, we've definitely, honestly, for me, like I don't do a lot of like online toy drop
Yeah.
things. So, I mean, you guys are really the only one that I'm like waiting for the drops. So yeah, no, fuck, thank you. That's
Yeah,
all I
we've
can say.
become rather passionate
Um,
about Knights of the Slice. It's kind of surreal that now we have the creator on the podcast. Um,
yeah,
who would have thought, like, I don't know, for Tony and I just spending a podcast every week just revving each other up to buy more Knights of the Slice stuff, that would just turn into, like, something as interesting as this.
yeah,
Well, it's more of a treat for me because everybody in my immediate orbit is sick of hearing me talk about these things.
Oh, we want more, but we don't want to like probe too deep because you said earlier. Okay, all right, let's do it.
Well,
Yeah, go for it.
3 sangrias down. Logan's probably chugging 5 beers. Um, let's get some
Sure.
secrets. What kind of secrets can you give us right now? Some
Um,
hints.
you're shameless.
No, yeah, we'll do it. Fuck it.
I'd be happy to have this be the launching pad for announcing what the first character is in the all-in, or what will be waves 5 and 6. I
Oh,
think this is appropriate.
I would love for you to jump that off of
Um,
us.
so the first character up is, well, let me back up. The theme of 5 and 6 is old heroes. So I
Okay.
really went back to my drawings from when I was a kid, and I
Nice.
always would like make these characters out of clay or sculpey or ceramic, whatever kind of materials I could get.
Hmm.
And it just sort of dawned on me one day, I have this, more or less blank body. Why don't I just adapt the idea of these characters onto the Knights of the Slice body? And,
Okay.
I was sort of in a frenzy and kind of scribbling the ideas down, and I came up with, just what I thought were great interpretations of that. So that's one of the big themes of these next two waves is that idea. And the first character up is a character called Rebel that I created when I was,
Okay.
I mean, 8 or 9, probably, maybe even younger. And he was just kind of a ripoff of the Punisher or, um, you know, any sort of armed vigilante.
Yeah. Yeah, your classic
Yeah.
anti-hero
Uh,
type guy. Sweet.
so, that's sort of going to be the first one out of the gate. I think I guess it would be September, more or less.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you'll sort of there'll be a mini comic that kind of introduces how these characters sort of come upon the suits of the Knights of the Slice and how they are integrated into the universe. Um, and
Okay.
there'll be a couple other things from my past that will pop up throughout the.
That's super cool.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, just being able to actually like fully like flesh out like your ideas from when you were a kid and like make physical representations of those like when you're older. That's dare I say you're living the dream. That is awesome.
Sure. I mean, it feels
Like
scrambling up a sheer rock wall. Um, yeah,
yeah,
could be a dream too.
still good. Climbing's fun. Climbing's fun. You like climbing? Exercise. It's good. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, I've noticed. I think since Death Knight came out in Wave 2, that was the first like almost villain esque
Yeah.
character. And then there's been Chaos King, which I know he's kind of it's implied he's a villain, but he's also just more of an agent
Yeah.
of chaos. So I was watching one of the videos today too. There was the Orange Knight, which is the Nikki Fung style homage, but he's supposed to be represented like by Brick a
Yeah.
little bit. Is he also a villain character, or are we going to be getting more straight up villain characters in the future?
So obviously, like, I've had to find creative ways that villains happen to look exactly like the heroes, and that's by virtue of how prohibitively expensive it is to tool new figures. Um, we have villains that are sculpted. Ant Suck and Erwin Papa have fleshed out the Knights of the Slice world well beyond what will ever get manufactured.
Hmm.
It is uh, essentially, if I tooled an entirely new body at this point, I don't know that the company would survive because it's so
Oh, okay.
it can be 15 grand, and to put
Wow.
down 15 grand means I'm not ordering new product. I'm not tooling smaller additional things like the vector jump armor. So,
Yeah.
it's very dangerous when to tie up all of your cash flow in a new tool. And that's sort of the only reason why there isn't sort of a proper villain with a whole new tool.
So Another
Right, right.
Kickstarter, is that the plan then, or?
Um, I don't think so. Kickstarter is very expensive
Hmm.
as a
Yeah.
platform. They take a big chunk, and also just it's an expense in terms of time that you put into it.
Yeah.
It is a really nerve-wracking experience, and it has to be at least 20 or 30 days long.
Yeah, and I guess
Totally.
doing a second Kickstarter as well, it's like you're rolling the dice on whether or not that same sort of passion is gonna come about that the original Kickstarter had, and like enough funding, as well as the question comes up: are you asking too much of people if you want to kickstart another project? You know?
Yeah, and look, I did two Kickstarters in the same year. People forget that we kickstarted a Night of the Slice comic book, and it failed miserably. So,
Yeah.
you
Right,
know,
right. Yeah, where some of those original villain designs
yeah.
were showcased, I remember.
So it's, I mean, all that being said, look, Kickstarter it's a huge undertaking, and it's one I've been reluctant to do.
Hmm.
That being said, I had an idea for something that's not really Knights of the Slice related, but will be coming to reality soon. I thought
Okay.
would be appropriate for Kickstarter because one, I could do a really quick blitzkrieg of a video that's like 15 seconds long and barely gives you the information you need. Uh, and
Yeah.
also, I think it's just by virtue of what it is, it has a much wider audience, and there's the ability to pick up new customers. I think we've collectively,
Cool.
all of us have done a pretty good job of building a fan base for Knights of the Slice, but I think we're more or less at capacity. I don't know that we will double the number of people that collect Knights of the Slice. I don't know that
Hmm. Hmm.
it's
Okay.
just, I don't know that there are that many guys our age with disposable income to reach.
Yeah.
I
That's
think we're
fair.
pretty
Yeah.
close to what is a very healthy following. I don't think it will bloom into, you know, something several times the magnitude of it. And that's okay. I don't mean that pejoratively at all. I just, I suspect we're we've gotten more or less what we're going to get. And if it goes 10%,
Yeah.
that would be tremendous. Right.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it's like, yeah, it would be cool to see like Knights of the Slice on like your Toys R Us shelves and everything, but there is something kind of special about having like the exclusivity of these toys. Like you have to be here for this exact moment, or you have to know the right guys on this internet forum to
Right.
like, yeah, chat about these guys and get like a little night for
Well,
yourself.
you,
So
you hit on
I
something interesting there because that's really all I have, right? Is
okay,
is the scarcity and the marketing of this line. And
right,
and also I think in some respects the return on investment because I think people have made very good money reselling retired Knights of the Slice, and I want to.
yeah, I've
I think
noticed.
that's awesome. Like that's a high watermark that people can sell a single figure and make over $100. That's tremendous. Like that's
Hmm.
really
Hmm.
good. So look, there are toy lines out there that are better than mine, that are cheaper than mine, that do more than mine. If you look at like Marauders Inc. with their quasi GI Joe military, tons of
Yeah.
articulation, tons of modular accessory packs, and every kind of gun you could want. Stacking a Night of the
Hmm.
Slice, which has minimal articulation in comparison, uh, you know, it's clear you're getting more bang for the buck with them. Um, so really, the only thing I can kind of do, the main compelling selling point here is that one, I don't make more than I can sell.
Right.
Two,
Right.
we typically sell out pretty quick. I think our last one sold out in 3 days. Sometimes,
Yeah.
the past few before that were selling out within 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And two, yeah, you're kind of coming into this community, and there's going to be ones you want to track down, and you're going to have duplicates of some, and you're going to sell those and make a little bit of money. And it like
Hmm.
that whole promise is really that's what this line is because it's you can go buy any kind of Sentai related figure that's going to be infinitely more expensive or cooler or flashier than mine. Um, So at the end of the day, it's really like uh, that perception is really that's the biggest selling thing.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I'd still rather get like the full wave 5 and 6 of Knights over the like Ninja Steel stuff. Because let's be for real, it's the same articulation.
Well, thank you. Good. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, no, you're officially better than the Power Ranger stuff coming out in my eyes. So
The fan base around these toys and the way that they're sold with the exclusivity of it and the just sort of that community aspect that is necessary, how that can't really be, how do I want to word this? It can't really be duplicated on a mass consumer level because the charm of it is the fact that it is its own independent, small, niche, awesome thing. What is the next step for the next project? Like how, like, do you want to keep that format and keep your community the way you've been growing it, or do you want to try to break out into something a little bit more mainstream?
Well, let's see. I don't want to say too much because I'm very protective of things not happening, right?
Mm.
Like, I have no
mm-hmm.
problem sharing the future or what I hope to happen. But when it comes to things that I'm kind of meticulously building, I get very shy about it. Not to be coy, but because I know these things are very fragile and, a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to make a promise you can't keep, right?
Yeah.
But I think that if I could grow it to where Knights of the Slice, and you guys are going to groan about this, but if I, if I could grow it to where Knights of the Slice is only an all-in program, maybe 4 times a year, I would be so grateful and so happy because then I could work on something for a couple months. I could have all the narrative pieces, which is, the postcards and all the great fan art, and I could just
Mm-hmm.
ship basically an entire chapter of a book, more or less, where you get the characters, you get the story, there's some couple
Okay.
ancillary items in there, and it's just this great big chunk, and it carries the story forward. If I could get to that stage,
Well,
that would be awesome, and that'd be great.
oh,
What?
totally. Yeah. I mean, 3A does it,
Yeah,
so.
um, but I won't take your money ahead of time. Um, but
Oh.
I think the bigger thing here is it's going to be, and I got to be very careful about this, but it's going to be um, this idea, and part of this idea is obviously the Glio system. This
Yeah.
idea meeting something that has a retail opportunity, and
Yeah.
I'm being purposely vague here, but
No, that's totally reasonable.
there will eventually be a vehicle that will take what Matt Dowdy has built over the almost 15 years, and it will apply it
Mm-hmm.
to a hot license or something that makes sense, and retailers will respond to it, and we will be able to go into stores like um, a GameStop or the Walmart impulse aisle or whatever, what have you, and you'll be able to buy
Okay.
something that took the nugget of what Dowdy has built and applied it to what is currently popular and selling in, you know, the mass markets or in the specialty markets. That's what
Oh,
I
cool.
I
Oh,
think
cool.
the next big catalyst will be. And Knights of the Slice will only be, in the fallout range of that, where it won't be on the forefront of that. But when
Right.
that event
Right. Right.
happens, I think people they'll start looking for any and everything that fits that format. They'll want
Oh.
every
Oh,
single
totally.
line that's GLiOS compatible, and they'll want to sort of, I see that as being the big moment where this goes from being solely guys like us to being something a little bit bigger, you know.
Okay. Yeah, it's more accessible for like the
Yeah,
mass
yeah,
audience.
totally.
Huh. Cool. I mean, yeah, I remember I guess it was about 15 years ago now, like first hearing about GLiOS. and just being so excited by the idea of like there's like just it's like Lego but action figures and not necessarily like a Bionicle type system. Like that's really fucking cool. And then it just kind of dropped off for a little bit. Like I guess personally, like for us over here, because in Vancouver specifically, I don't know really many other people that do Glios related things. There's Crystal Lord and a couple dudes on the island. So it's, I guess, like it just totally fell off my radar here until the Knights of the Slice Kickstarter, and then until a bit more of the like, I managed to find a couple Glios things at like toy shows, and then I got fully immersed in everything.
Yeah. Well,
so it's really cool to see it like go from the initial like inception and plan to like having more things like built upon the base. So that's really cool that you guys managed to like get in there too.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to be in a universe that is interconnected. It's like the opposite of what the real universe is. This is the illusion of order.
Yeah. Oh man, that's rad though. Cool. Yeah, I'm super stoked to see like any and everything that you guys are coming out with. Yeah, if you can keep doing non all in things too for us, please, that'd be great.
I having been that kid that would like, I would basically steal quarters out of my dad's change jar and then bum a ride to Toy Works. I always want to keep this as accessible as possible, and always, I try to sell these as cheaply as I can. For a slight price bump in waves 5 and 6 that I've sort of been holding off for as long as I could, but I totally agree.
Oh, man.
I've been the poor kid, and you go to your friend's house and he has the USS Flag and Boulder and 4-5, and you're like, I have a Kevin Costner Robin Hood without his tunic that I got at back sale.
I think Logan has that exact Kevin Costner. Yeah. No, that's super rad though. Like, yeah, holy crap. And honestly, like for the price bump that you were saying, from what it sounds like, I don't think you're gonna be losing any fans from that.
Hopefully not.
Like, no. I mean, if we look at like mainstay Transformers over here up in Canada, I'm pretty sure the price reflects over in the States as well. Our $20 deluxes are now $30.
Yeah.
So you're not like an $11 or $12 night isn't going to be a $22 night.
And I think like people need to accept the fact that like things change and the economy changes and costs change. Like even for me, sometimes I have a hard time when I'm looking at the new Star Wars Black Series and I'm like, fuck man, you used to be like $20 and that is no longer the case. But I think it's just like things change.
That's the nature of it.
Totally. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you're coming out with some awesome product, and you've got like a super steady fan base. So just seeing all the people that were like in for the all in for this wave is just super impressive. And like, yeah, you guys definitely deserve all the success that you've been getting.
Yeah, I was overwhelmed at the turnout. I did not. I just basically thought, that core group were going to re-up, and we'd maybe have one or two, new people that kind of jumped on. But it was, I think we tripled what we were doing in all-ins the first time we went.
Holy smokes.
Hell yeah.
It's a good place to be.
Sweet. That's definitely what I like to hear. Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Yes, we've been doing this for about an hour, give or take.
Maybe we should wrap things up and let Jesse get back to being
enjoying his vacation.
Dinner night.
Yeah. So, did you have anything to say? Anything to plug? I mean, any free reign?
Yeah, I
Go.
wanted to share one other thing that may never happen, but it's sort of what I've been obsessed with lately.
Sounds great.
Sweet.
So when I was a kid, I was obsessed with movies like The Abyss and Leviathan, anything that took place
Yes.
underwater.
Mhm.
And I, when I was a kid, I created this world called Subterranean City, and it was just it was just a ripoff of The Abyss. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Go on.
But the things I've been sketching lately, like I'm already done with Waves 5 and 6. It's creatively, it's come to its end. Almost nobody has them yet, but I'm already sort of off to the next thing. Um, so
Right,
I
right.
would love to do a wave that is um, just like nights and things that would exist in Sub City, right?
So a nautical theme.
Yeah,
Oh.
nautical theme, airlocks and moon pools and I don't know what the sort of extrapolation of that theme is, but as of today and the past couple of days, that's just like where I've been sort of scribbling and doodling. And
That sounds amazing.
That
maybe we
is
2018 and you guys get your all-ins and you're like, holy cow, it really happened. It's Sub City. It's beautiful.
Sub-City playset.
Yeah, exactly.
I just need 2 seconds. Hang on a second, guys.
Cat's on fire.
I hope not. He doesn't have a cat, which is the scary part.
Okay, sorry, I'm back. I'm back. I'm going to be a little graphic, but this is just how excited that idea got me.
You got diarrhea.
No. Oh, not that graphic. No, I drank like I said 3 sangrias, and my arm is a starting like nautical themed tattoo sleeve.
Perfect.
So the fact that you said you're sort of loosely planning out like a sci-fi underwater nights-ish type thing made me almost literally piss myself with excitement. So
he's putting it mildly. Tony ran to go rub one out real quick. Sorry, that was a bit graphic.
That's too much. Oh man, but that is, oh god, that's amazing.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I mean, look, these waves tend to change a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you did preface it with this in things that may never happen, air quotes.
Yeah, but also it was like a weird confluence of things. I was watching Waterworld. Oh man, do you remember those Water Wars Spider-Man and X-Men line from Toy Biz? So great, and I bought them all off eBay. I'm like, this is so fun. Like, this is amazing. There's little inflatables and and it just, one thing kept leading to another, and I'm like, why does this theme keep bubbling up? Like, there's something here. So,
Yeah.
Something growing inside.
So
me.
I don't know. Look, it may never happen, but
cool idea though.
It's my current obsession anyway.
That's fair. Also, I'm with you. That is the best Venom that they've ever done.
100%. And it,
like I stole that from my cousin growing up.
I remember I was reading Beowulf when that Venom came out, and I was like, oh, this is a perfect Grendel figure. Like, this would look like.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and I posted that photo, and it ended up being sculpted by my good friend Phil Ramirez, who did a lot of the Toy Biz stuff of that era.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
No way.
So it's
damn, that's rad.
But yeah, anyway, that's where my head's at these days.
That's I don't blame you. To put it lightly, everyone says I have an ocean boner, so this excites me on a few levels.
Very flaccid.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's
not a thing I reference
get that
very
out.
much. So. Yeah, well, especially for free up here. I mean,
yeah, but you got death panels.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Awesome.
Oh man.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. This was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys should try to get Nikki on, because he.
Yeah, we would love.
Sorry? He would be a great voice to all this stuff too. and he may even be able to string a sentence together without misspeaking. Who knows?
I think we were fairly coherent collectively.
Sure.
Yeah.
We did good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
getting
did
good at
good.
this.
We did good.
Yeah, and you're always welcome to come back on the show.
I will. I'll come back as soon as I have something solid to reveal.
The teases are nice though.
Yeah. Well, I like to, like I said, it's all out there. You just gotta zoom in and look under a microscope.
You just gotta Kubrick it all together.
All right, I've got my red yarn and pins and corkboard ready. Let's do this.
Style.
Sweet. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much again. We both really honestly really appreciate it.
Happy to do it. All right. Well, the only thing left to say is pizza out.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun, and I'm pretty sure we didn't fanboy too hard. Maybe just a little. So yeah, downstairs in the links, check out all the fun stuff I've got for you down there. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, you could do that. If you are unfamiliar with Toy Pizza, now you're familiar with Toy Pizza. But let's be honest, if you were down for this interview, you are probably already subscribed to their channel and are well familiar with what they're all about. Thanks a lot, guys. See you in the next video.